5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free.
Hey man, say man, we is here. We gotta ring the alarm. We got a special episode tonight. Hey ladies, how y'all doing? This for y'all tonight. Call your homegirls, call your best friends, call your cousins. It is official. We have finally got the back end together. We are now accepting applications for the king. We're going to put that up real quick for y'all soon to show y'all what I mean. But we exactly what we not just looking for, what we need. See, I think in today's time, everybody has had what they've wanted. Everybody haven't had what they need. So these applications that we going to take, fill them out. Age, race, height, hobbies, religious belief. You know what I mean? We gonna see who's wifey material. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go through the applications and I'm gonna pick 3 lucky participants. We're gonna go on a date. And it's gonna be survival of the fittest, so to speak. I absolutely want y'all to engage. We're gonna see who could cooperate, who's not antagonistic, who's not cantankerous. We looking for those that are philanthropists to their man. This is only for women who want to get married. This is it, just for women who want to get married. You know, not the hot girl, summer, city girl, none of that. You know, those who have a balance in their life. Those who are looking to start a family. Those who are looking to live well off. Those who the family is more important than their career. You dig what I'm saying? Those who are able to have a conversation without yelling and screaming. Those who are able to have a disagreement without it turning into disrespect. You dig what I'm saying? We looking for those ladies that's a part of that tribe. We looking for those from the Most High tribe, man. We not going to be talking to anybody with a combative spirit. We not looking for none of that. We not looking for, if you disagree with 20% of what I say, just don't even apply. Just leave it alone. You dig? We looking for those who want to change the world, who feel backing her man is going to be important enough to know that he's going to be able to open the doors to do his part in changing the world, do his part in fulfilling his purpose. And in return, yes, ladies, you will have the life that you thought about, the beautiful family, the house with the picket fence, the nanny, the 4 vacations minimum a year. You know, when y'all start out, of course, all the vacations is going to be just with y'all two because there won't be no kids involved. My philosophy is once y'all do start having kids, 2 vacations with the kids, 2 vacations with just y'all two. These are the things that I would like to discuss tonight. So as we embark on this journey, I want y'all to come with me. Yeah. Let's get into it. So what we looking for? We're gonna want to know your name. Go and shoot us your email address. You dig what I'm saying? We're gonna want to know your height. You know what I mean? Who do you live with? That's gonna be important. We want to know eye color, age. Now that's the physical part. We also gonna want to know your weight. You know, that's important. Your hair color. What city you located in. You dig what I'm saying? We're gonna want to know Let me see. Do you have a past? Ooh. Or what do you prefer? I ain't even put that. Do you have a past? We know that. What is the one? What does that say? Do you what? Oh, do you have pets? Look at me being like, how much money do you make a year? How long was your last relationship? You dig what I'm saying? What type of relationship are you looking for? Of course, it's only for wives for real, but we know some of y'all want casual fun. Are you okay with long distance? What's some of your hobbies and interests? What's some of your taste in music? What is some of your taste in film and television? See, for me, we're going to stop right there real quick. Leave it on there. For me, I am a documentary buff. I love to learn. I hate to watch movies that I don't learn nothing from. Describe your taste in books and podcasts. What are the most important qualities in a relationship? Is there anything else I should know about you? And then we're going to add one more. I want to know what your background is, your religious belief. Who do you believe in? You dig what I'm saying? So those are the applications. That's the surface. We're going to get into love languages and dispersonality and attachment styles and things of that nature. You know, for me, as I'm embarking on finishing up this book, I got a once a week meeting called the Commission. That's where it's 52 meetings a year because it's 52 weeks in a year. And that's where we come through and we take data, we have communication, and we break bread. And I think that's what's lacking in a lot of relationships is the once a week meeting to take data. We take data in everything else in our lives. You know, we have gauges in everything else in our life. When we go to our car, we know if it's running hot or if it's running right. If there's gas in there, if the oil is low, the transmission fluid. You know, if you look at your car, you have a lot of gauges. Why? That's going to tell you how far you can go. If it's running hot, you need to stop. If you got a quarter tank of gas, you know how many miles you got left. You dig what I'm saying? If the transmission ain't doing right, you know you need to pull over. So the gauges in life we need to speak on a weekly basis so that we don't continue down a wrong path. Because the relationship can be going good for somebody, but for the other person, it's not. Because the engine can be just fine, but the transmission is slipping. You dig? And sometimes the engine and the transmission is fine, but it's out of gas. You know, so the gauges, the once a week, the commission, it'll allow y'all to gauge where y'all at and what's going on. And you can actually see it on paper. This is something that y'all sit and write down. And then there's surface questions. And then there's intimate, deeper questions. Surface questions, let's just say, you know, how many times did she cook? You know, did he pay the bills this month? Whatever the case may be. How many times did they go on a date? You know what I mean? How many times they were intimate, so to speak? You know, is their love languages getting talked? Then y'all go down to this, to the deeper things. Where you at mentally? Where you at spiritually? You know what I mean? You see where people are at. Where is their gauge? And there's certain tools in there that'll help you gauge where you're at. You want to gauge where you're at in a relationship. And you don't want to be so far off, because if your gauge is broke, you could be running that car hot. If your gas gauge is broke, you'll drive into it, run out of gas, and you might be like, man, this thing won't start. I need a new starter. No, you got to have that gauge right. So that's my thing. Like, my intellect is on actually knowing what's before us. And if you're a believer like I am, it's called knowing the state of thy flocks. You got to know the state of your relationship. And what's the purpose of your relationship? I see so many times people get into relationships and don't even know the purpose. You know, if it's for fun, it's for fun. But I'm at a point where it has to be more than fun. It has to be purposeful. We got to be doing this for a purpose. It got to be more than just, you know, rolling around in sheets behind closed doors. It got to be more than taking vacations and pics for the gram. It got to be even more than just having kids. We got to agree on what we want to teach these kids. Because most of the great people in life that we see were trained. It wasn't, oh, he'll do whatever you want to do, she'll do whatever. Serena and Venus was trained since they was kids. Tiger Woods was trained since a kid. Michael Jordan. You know, a lot of our greats were trained by somebody else since a child. Even Mike Tyson was trained by custom models since a teenager. You know, y'all think Elon Musk just woke up one day and decided? No, he was trained. Bill Gates was trained. Don't let the media make y'all believe this man woke up one day and just decided. No. And they had backings. I'm also going to want to know, like, what's the support system? It's two things. I'm going to say the first one is, the dopest thing I heard is, when you pick a mate, do you want your child to be exactly like them? Would you be okay if your child turned out to be exactly like them? And that's on both sides. It started off saying, would you want your daughter to be like her? Never pick a woman that you wouldn't want your daughter to be exactly like. I said, ooh, that's deep. And vice versa. Never pick a man if you don't want your boys to grow up, and if they was to be exactly like him, you wouldn't be proud of. You dig what I'm saying? So those are things of conversations you want to have when actually picking a mate and seeing exactly where this future can go. Then you got to know the purpose of the relationship. What is the purpose? Besides just two people fulfilling their own desires. And I know a lot of us, want to go to the Bible and say heart's desires. But are they God's desires for your heart? Have you worked on your communication skills? What books have you read? Are we on the same page? I know one of my famous is Amos 3:3. How can two walk together unless they agree? They can't. It has to be an agreement, a synchronization to the family unit. So when y'all figuring out, all right, is this the person that I would want to have kids with? And also knowing that a lot of times that's not the finished product, what you see. All the ingredients may be there, but the cake ain't baked yet. So you got to really look at ingredients, and ingredients is character, integrity, honesty, loyalty, commitment, things of that nature is what you want to really look for, because they ain't got to have it all together. If in today's times, what we say all together, what they got to have is the ingredients to be able to make a cake. They ain't got to be the whole cake right now. Do they have the ingredients to make a cake? Because if not, then you're going to have a problem, because we're all going to grow. What they say, the grass and the tree started off from the same spot. The fruit tree and the bush started off from the same spot. The bush really don't do nothing but, look good aesthetically, or it might provide security if it's high bushes in front of a house, but they don't produce any fruit, but they do have a purpose. But if you're a fruit tree and you're able to produce year in and year out, you're going to way outgrow the bush, because bushes is usually low. Fruit trees usually grow pretty high, pretty decent size, so that they can expand and drop fruit every year. That's, again, knowing your tribe. You got to know what tribe you in. That go back to knowing who is your God, because once you know God, then you know you. Once you know you, you know your tribe. Once you know your tribe, then you know your person. And one of the coldest things that I tell people to do, the first page on the book say, have you asked God about this person? How many of y'all have really asked God, am I supposed to be with this person? Is this person meant for me? Those are the questions that you want to ask people, not the superficial questions that everybody can have. And that's just surface. And after that surface is gone, you figure out the foundation is bad. Also, the rearing of this person might be the biggest decision maker. 90% of people are not going to change from their rearing. 90% of people are not going to change from their thought process. 90% of people are going to stay the same way that they are. So to get someone who was raised in a chaotic environment and think that they're not going to start looking for chaos is usually not a good thing. You want to see the rearing of that person. Do they have parents? What was they taught? Because you Navy SEALs aren't born, they're created. And if you don't know what a Navy SEAL or a Green Beret is, they're the top of the military. They're the special of the special agents of the military. They're the big dogs of the big dogs. They didn't wake up one day and apply for a job. They had to work their way through ranks, then have to get selected to even be a part of that. Then after being selected, they go through some of the most strenuous practices and tasks, obstacles, purposefully by the military to test them. And most of the time it start off with 100 and only end with like 1 to 3 people that's able to survive when they do this. I don't mean staying alive, I mean survive the class. So if you're not raised, if they not born and raised on that, if they not embedded in that, it's not likely that they gonna make it. So you really got to be able to identify. See, the book gonna help you identify. I'm looking for a woman who knows how to identify, who knows herself first, not so much pointing the finger, because it says a woman supposed to make a man better. A woman is a helpmate. It's the last person you made better. Are you able to help? And as a man, my job is not called to get you a business and get you a boutique and turn you up and none of that. Nah. My job is to lead this family. As you help me, and the better I grow, the more we grow. You know, it's backwards. The first thing we hear in today's society is, help me, help me, help me, from the women, from the men, which I understand. But in reality, if you help that man, his business most of the time gonna blow real big. It's gonna blow real big, and he gonna take care of you if you ask God if that's the man meant for you, and you see those ingredients in there, and you know how to follow the recipe. You dig what I'm saying? This relationship stuff is easy. It's very easy. FYI, when I've done all my podcasts and I talk about the different varieties of women that share the same interests, that are not always in a good space and not married, I'm not having to include myself in that. The women treat me amazing. Then there's what we call a standard. My standard, it's not a high or a low. My standard is just a quality of life that I already live. You dig what I'm saying? I'm used to people cooking and cleaning, folding, taking care of me, not saying no behind the closed doors. I'm accustomed to that. I don't have a problem in that area. I don't have a problem with the woman that I am on a serious type time with. They don't give me issues. You dig what I'm saying? The ones that I lock in with, we be cool. I've just realized now I have to be intentional in my intentions of dealing with women, because I might have broke some hearts unintentionally. Because y'all like what y'all like, ladies, and y'all agree to what y'all agree to. And then when it doesn't go farther than what you desire, you know, that's where the problems come in. So me being a man, I'm going to take accountability and quit even doing that. If I don't see no future in you, I ain't gonna kick it with you, and I'm gonna take my own advice. I'm gonna ask God, this woman I'm supposed to deal with, see what tribe she from, see her characteristics, you know, see how she is when she gets upset. Is she a screamer and a hollerer? Is she a cusser? Is she a cursor? You dig? These are things you could look at, because in relationships, when people start saying, oh, they changed, no, they didn't. You've magnified something that you overlooked. So there be things that you overlook, and when something else don't go right, we magnify it. But what I'm here for is the solution. Deal with the right type of people. And so the second thing that this guy was saying was your friends, your association, your associates is very important. He said the only way that his relationship worked is if the 5 people that's his support system and the 5 people in her support system are rooting for y'all to stay together, are rooting for y'all to win. You say, well, what that mean? When he calls any 5 people on his team and start talking, man, she getting on my nerves, I'm thinking about leaving, she ain't the one, you know, whoop de whoop whoop whoop. Those 5 people have to re-encourage him and say, hey man, you tripping. That girl cook, clean, do whatever she need to do. Yeah, she might have did something crazy today, but you tripping, bro. That's a good woman, and you better not lose her trying to go get the little part that you trying to find in some other woman. All 5 of them got to get on his top. and let him know, like, hey, that's a good woman. And when it comes to that woman, all 5 people on her support system, when she get to, oh, he out late, he ain't doing this and he ain't do that, they got to go to her and be like, hey, you asked for a man to pay bills, a man to have kids with, a man that's somebody in the community, a man that loves you. And they got to remind her of who he is. Both sides have to encourage the relationship. So whoever your 5 closest support people is, those people have to both be rooting for y'all. Because those people are some of the most influential people in your life that can persuade your decision making. Because most of the time, if not all of the time, those people was there before y'all got together. So your loyalty is definitely to them from the beginning. Y'all's job is to get away from everybody and create a bond. Deuteronomy, I want to say 24, it says a man should not work, go to the military, or do anything for a year. He should bond with his wife and make her happy for a year. I'm paraphrasing. If people was really to bond for a year with no outside influence and just them two, relationships would last longer. Because when that bond is created, what happens? It can't be broken. It's like trying to tear a basketball up. You're going to tear the whole thing up. You dig what I'm saying? They can't be separated. When you get things that can't be separated because y'all know each other, y'all create your own language. When you have a relationship, y'all create your own lingo. So can't nobody interfere with what y'all got going on. You really got to understand your own language. It takes time to bond, to bring 2 worlds together, to bring order. It would be lovely that first year y'all ain't got no kids. And then y'all can travel and get to see each other in each type of environment that there is. You know, how is she when it's on a vacation? How is she when she under pressure? How is she when, you know, she just chilling? Once you see these things, you see the real nature and quality of a person, and you can say, okay, I'm rocking with shorty. But more Jews that I was dropped upon, you're not marrying the person you know, you're marrying the person you don't know. Because everything you know about her, you don't have a problem with. It's the things that you might not know. Again, you're not marrying the person that you do know. The only issue might be is because you're marrying the person that you don't know. Nobody's going to know everything about nobody. 100%. Everybody's not even supposed to tell all their deepest, darkest secrets. That's not the thing. The thing of a relationship is a unity under God to fulfill the purpose of both people's lives, of what they was put on earth to do. And how can they do it together in unison? You dig what I'm saying? So all of these lists, they really don't matter. The core values in the tribe is what matter. But having this, and this, these things are going to change seasonally. Because right now you might be like, oh, he got to have a coat, he got to have Tim's, he got to have this, he got to have this, that. Man, that was in the winter season. So now you in the summertime, you got a nigga with a coat on and Tim's, and now you're like, he looking stupid. Nah, that's what you pray for. That's what you asked for. We speaking metaphorically now. Your list most of the time is seasonal. There be no characteristics on these lists. It'd be a bunch of material and superficial things. The book helps you sit and talk to God about what's needed for your life, especially women. Y'all have got everything y'all want. Y'all have slept with one of your favorite guys. Y'all have had niggas pay y'all bills. Y'all have had niggas sleep with y'all that was the best ever. Y'all have had everything y'all wanted. Instead of what you need, a man that's willing to correct you. A man that's willing to stand on business without cussing you out. A man that's able to lead you and show you the way. And it makes sense. A man that be like, all right, listen, these first 2 times you questioned me, once I stamp, solidify, and surpass your expectation of what you thought was gonna happen, I don't need you to question me no more, shouting. You know, I'm gonna give you the play and we gonna run it. I don't need you to call no audibles. You know, that's where the past come in at of, oh, well, this man led me astray, that man led me astray. Okay, sweetheart, you could have found that out in the beginning. You could have looked at his character. If he ain't doing well for himself right now, what makes you think he was gonna do well when y'all got together? You gotta look at characteristics. So what I'm looking for, ladies, is who God got for me. You understand me? Somebody who know that they dealing with a man who's playing his part in changing the world already, who's already fulfilling his purpose, who's already whipping his ingredients up. I'm not at where I'm supposed to be at all the way. Nobody, I feel like most of the time, I don't think nobody who is handling business feel like they at where they're supposed to be, because every season is somewhere else you're supposed to be. But in this season, we're going to go into a season of marriage, not a wedding. We hear a lot about weddings. We don't hear a lot about marriages. We don't hear a lot about having the tools that it's going to take to get through these different levels. Money is a tool. We're supposed to have tools to get to these next levels. All right, now we getting more. Now we got kids. All right, now we need new tools. See, I'm okay with having my kids homeschooled and a tutor coming through, because the most important thing is going to be for them to, one, understand God, understand themselves, know what their parents are teaching them, and know that the quality of life can be what they believe it can be. I'm not building my kids on society, nor care about what anyone thinks of them. You know, I'm using the mental fortitude to be installed in them to be great. You gotta cancel out the outside yays and nays, the celebrations. You gotta cancel them out, and you gotta cancel out the hating. Neither one matters. You gotta stay focused and do what you're supposed to do to be able to get where you at. So the women that I seek out, like I said, is those of that quality, those that enjoy family. You know what I mean? I could use the superficial. Can she cook? Can she clean? Can she knit? Nah, does she call to God to deal with greatness? Do she know what it takes to deal with a quality man? You know, we could talk about, oh, can she put my shoes up? That's minuscule things. I could pay a maid to do that. Do she know how to encourage her man? Is she a praying woman? If I come in and she could feel something wrong, is she gonna go pray about it, or is she gonna nitpick about it? If I ain't doing something she like for a period of time, is she gonna pray about it, or is she gonna nitpick about it? But guess what? With the book come that week, she can express what she don't like. Then we have to come up with a solution to see if I'm gonna do it or if I ain't. You dig what I'm saying? Then she has to know what a leader is. You understand me? And I also got to know women's emotions. I have to create an awesome environment. It's like having a baby. You have to create environment for that woman, for that nest. Like even this, think about like birds. When they have kids, when they have the little birdies, they create a nest. And they usually create it in a safe space where nobody else can get to it. They usually have their nest up high somewhere. Bunch of feathers, and her eggs are covered until they hatch, and while the kids is in there, they go get it and bring it. The environment is right. So for me, I want to make sure the environment is right, and not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. Doing my research, I read a lot of books that's geared towards females, to understand females, to know, okay, she having a moment, or she just venting. Just let her talk. You dig what I'm saying? You really got to put that work in if you want the upper echelon of a relationship to y'all. Y'all have to set the standard of what y'all relationship is. Not to the world, not bae, not relationship goals. Y'all relationship of what y'all got going on. I was watching a movie last night, and it was an old 1970 something Cadillac. I'm like, I want one of them. And something was like, you and that lady, that'll probably be y'all favorite car. Outside of Corvettes and Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces, y'all might have the best time. Y'all remember them plush cloth thick seats and that Brougham with the old school radio in there, and that wood grain, and that long Cadillac that float, you know, when you ride, and that might be y'all funnest car. You know, it may not be the most expensive car that y'all enjoy going on dates in. It might be that Cadillac that y'all create that bond, and that old school that y'all like it might remind her of something. Oh, my granddaddy had one of these. And you're like, yeah, mine did too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it may be for y'all to create y'all bond. We got to get past the surface level. Is you meant to deal with this person? Does this person exhibit qualities? You dig what I'm saying? Not with their mouth. You could just watch a person. But a man, let me tell you, men have to lead. You have to give this woman a vision. You have to let her know what her position is, what you need out of her. And I'm going to tell you something. She's going to multiply so fast. You better have a far out vision. You better tell her some outlandish things, because she gonna get it done like this. I can just tell you personally, every time I tell a woman something that's a year out, she get it done in like 3 months. No cap. Like, I gotta give a girl like a 20-year plan, and she'll probably get it done in 5. Because she's gonna lessen the stress that I could call what we call Renaissance thinking, when I can really plot and visualize myself being where we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to be doing. When you're Renaissance thinking, everybody know what I'm talking about, that know what I'm talking about. You able to see yourself where you're supposed to be, and you able to think about it before you even get there, versus just running and around on a hamster wheel. You can visualize, okay, I'm gonna do this, and you sit with yourself. When a woman can get that man that peace and that serenity, I'm gonna tell you what happens. We go out into the streets, we go out into the world, to the business field, and we gonna give it 1,000% as hard as we can, because the whole goal is to go out here, execute the deal, hurry up and get done and get back to my woman. That's real deal. When you got a good woman at home, you is not trying to be out in these streets. You telling niggas, hey, I'm going home, player. You know, you may have your guys night out. Of course, that's necessity. We as men need to link up more. You're going to be at different events. But I'm just saying, on the day-to-day, when you may have 100% of energy and you dragging it throughout the whole day, versus waking up and killing it. Now you can spend time with your woman. You dig what I'm saying? Like, get up. You might be done at 12, 1 o'clock, because you've had that Renaissance time in the morning. You just sat and meditated and got clarity of what you're supposed to be doing, versus waking up, looking at your phone, 5 emails, 10 text messages, 3 missed phone calls. Now you're going into fix it mode. Now you're going into that mode, versus as soon as you get up, going into setting the tone for the day. You know, you want to set your tone for the day of get up, think, meditate, read your word, visualize what you're going to do today, listen, be prepared. Because if you sit and listen, the day will tell you what it's going to be like. I remember having a day when it told me something was going to happen in my life. It happened that way. It was we call it a hiccup. We just said inconvenience. When the inconvenience started happening, I started laughing like, oh, I was prepared for this. I wasn't upset or nothing. So when you can sit and get that clarity and make yourself spend time with yourself, that's important, because you'll get pulled 1,000 different directions. You don't know how to say no. You saying yes to the wrong stuff. That clarity in the morning, that's something that you could teach your woman, so to speak. Your woman got to be coachable, you know. So I'm definitely looking for somebody under 35 years old with no kids. This might sound crazy. You could stay by yourself, roommate, whatever. But if a woman is 25 to 32 and she still stay with her mama, that's not a bad thing. I'm gonna tell you why. She can have it going on and all of that. I've personally never been over a woman's house that had a dad and I spent the night at her house. That's a protection. When you leave your protection, now you out, now you're more susceptible to make decisions that you wouldn't want to make, because there's no protection. There's no one in your ear. So, oh yeah, come over, kick it, da da da, boom boom boom. But if she leaves her mother house and go to her father house, cool. But hey, listen, that's not an elimination factor, because you could be living out of town and can't live with your parents. You can not be from here, or you know, wherever y'all from. But I don't see nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody talk y'all at your parents' houses if y'all ain't gotta leave y'all parents' house. That's really a good way. Quality, smells amazing, praise. Somebody who don't know mind praying, somebody who has the Holy Spirit, know how to pray in tongues, that we can, you know, cast out the enemy. Yeah. And someone who got the balance to kick it and turn up with me. Have fun. Enjoy life. Take vacations. Talk our talk. You dig what I'm saying? Swing from that chandelier when it's time. You dig what I'm saying? Like, listen, the quality of service a man has to bring has to be a visionary, to be able to make sure that before he put a ring on it, she can see the vision. She has to buy into the vision. Like, oh yeah, I'm rocking with this. I see what you're doing. I'm rocking with you. And also got to know that the route may change, but the destination never does. The goal don't change, the way we get there might. So she has to be adjustable. You know what I mean? Workwittable, coachable. Like, yeah, I said we was going to do it this way, but now I see that's finna be a dead end there. We're going to have to make a right on this street and go this way. You feel me? We still going to the same destination though. So I'm not switching destinations. I might just switch the route up because I might see a better route, or that route might have too many obstacles, of unnecessary obstacles that we don't have to go through. It's like when they was going to Canaan. The children of Israel were going to the promised land. They had 11 days, they ended up taking them 40. If they wasn't fearful and they just followed after the Lord and Moses, they could have got there in 11 days, but they was scared. You know, fear is a sin. To not have faith is a sin. So to always bring up to your man the wrong is a sin of what can go wrong. You're not there to buffer him on what can go wrong. You're encouraging him on what can go right. Once y'all set and what can go right and got the plan together, cool. Then it has to be that weekly conversation. Then y'all can have a meeting and you can do what we call spar. Then you could give, after y'all got y'all plan together, ready to go, then you could give all of the possible why nots, give the different angles of what may happen. Because when you're a boxer, you're going to fight different people. When you're a basketball player, you know they got pads and pushing you and hitting you while you're trying to shoot the ball. To be ready for that, you don't start off like that, teaching the kid how to shoot a basketball and you start pushing him down immediately. That's after you already become good at what you're doing and you're trying to become great. You know, then that's when you start with the buffering and the back and forth of what you think. But for solid men with visions, we already know that there's obstacles. We already know that. So we don't need a bunch of hypotheticals. Look at it this way. We don't need y'all perspective on everything. Moses didn't get his wife perspective before he opened up the Red Sea. You dig what I'm saying? Before God told him to go through this way and this way, he didn't say, babe, what do you think? Nah. Sometimes you just got to rock with what your man doing because he already solid at what he doing. I'm looking for those type women. What y'all call it, the soft girl era, who just want to be loved on, who just want to kick it and family is more important. We're going to get this money. That's by default. That's just a blessing in my life. By default, we're going to get this money. But what purpose are we living out? What goals is we accomplishing? What households is we helping? What generation are we leaving this wealth to? Because I know for me, I got to train my kids in the way they're supposed to go. Because you can leave generational wealth, but if you don't train the people on how to execute the generational wealth when you're gone, it'll be gone. You have to train the people. You have to train everyone around you, especially the younger ones, for your exit. When it's time for you to leave, they need to know how to run your businesses if they want to. And if they don't, they need to know how to run the couple people that will run your businesses. You dig what I'm saying? Whoever you got in play, they need to know how to run the books. See if it look right. They need to know the right CPA. They need to have the right lawyer. So all your team players, they need to be able to know them. You need to let them meet, not wait until you on your deathbed and then try to tell these niggas how to run $100 million company. No, you got to be able to put them in positions around them that they grow up around, that they have relationships already, to know how to deal with finances. You know, you got to put them in position to make plays on their own so they can see what they do with their money. That's family unity. That's the father giving out a vision. This is what we doing. This is where we going. This is how we gonna do it. I don't need to be buffered. You dig what I'm saying? I don't need nobody giving me their different perspective all the time of the way they think. No, I don't need that. Me personally, I don't need that. I need a cheerleader. Come on, babe, we could do this. Let's get it popping. Then once we get it all the way up, we can get to the details. You don't start with details in building a car. You start with the frame. You don't get into the knick-knack of how the vents are, or the windshield wiper button, and that's details, or the trim. We build everything up, then we get to the details, then we tweaking. You know, what's better than a thinker, a doer? Some people overthink, and it takes them years and years because they're trying to make it perfect. But what they don't know is it's always going to be seasons. It's always evolving. Get started, then tweak it out. You dig what I'm saying? So, young lady, whoever you is, I'm praying for you, baby. It's time for you to come home. I'm leaving the streets alone. Leaving the women alone. You understand me? We can get out here, be great, be what we called to do. All you gotta do is simply fill that application out. You know, Do something different. I ain't even gonna say do something different, because who you is probably gonna be different. But if you can't do something different, stand out. Be great. You know what I mean? What we call it? Shoot your shot, shout it. And it ain't nowhere in the Bible where it said man supposed to chase a woman. It just says he who finds a wife. When you find something, you're not chasing it. You just, there it is. There it is. The woman is already who she's supposed to be, basically. And you can help mold her into what God got for y'all. You understand me? So whoever you is, baby, we is going to enjoy life. We're going to have some little cheering. We're going to kick it. We're going to see the world. We're going to see everything on this globe. I want to go to all 7 continents, baby. You understand me? I'm going to help the youth the way I'm supposed to. I'm not called to everybody. And that's what I understand about my life. I'm called to a specific group of people, and I'm okay with helping them and being great. I'm called to talk this talk the way I talk it. I'm called to encourage my people and let them know that the select folk that are a part of my tribe, we can't lose. We win by default. So let's put this work in. So baby girl, wherever you at, I know you've been praying for me. I apologize it took me so long, baby. I wanted just to make sure everything was right when you pulled up to the compound. When you pulled up to the King Estate and you was ready to bring your clothes. Because that's all you're going to need, sweetheart, is some clothes. And you really ain't going to need them, because we can go shopping and get you new ones. You understand me? So let the Lord guide you. Let the Lord speak to you. Don't let your girl talk you out your blessing. A girl, he'll find you. You better go and fill that application out. You know, show me your best, and I'm gonna show you I'm great. And this is the King, and I'm signing off. This is an alarm for y'all. Come on, come on. The ones who called. We gonna have fun and we gonna ball. I'm gonna treat you like a king. I might even let you bring that little bitty dog. We are going to have a magnificent time. I am the God's favorite on earth. His appointed, his anointed, his righteousness, his greatness. And you could just call me my Lord or your Highness. We ready for you, baby. Let's make miracles. Let's be great. Let's set the example. This is your king, baby. And guess what? I love you, boo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.